Hi guys, welcome to ValZenDen. My name is Valerie. Today I am so excited because I'm going to be showing you guys the gorgeous and beautiful the Christmas collection. This one is called Little Lacquer Village, which is adorable. I just can't deal with like the texture and the detail of everything. It's so cute. But anyways, I'm gonna be showing you guys the swatches, the comparisons, and at the very end, unfortunately and dreadfully, I'm gonna be doing my rankings. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. Okay, so I figured I would show you everything from the top to the bottom. So when you open this, oh my god, I gotta show you guys. Look at the detail. Absolutely amazing. I love it. I just like, everything is just so beautiful. I love it. This is a little card that comes with the collection if you want to pause to look at it more. And this is the back, telling a little cute story and with all the polishes, so if you want to pause to read everything. Also, this is a cute little sticker that I got. It's a Bah Humbug little grumpy old reindeer. It's so cute. I love it. And then these are the nail tattoos, which I'll take it out of the carton so you guys can see it better. Like, for sure, this is one of the cutest nail tattoos that we've ever gotten, especially for the holiday season. And before I move on, I want to show you guys like the inside of the packaging because it looks so freaking cute. I wanted to show you guys. You can actually take the little thing and it's just, you know, empty box in case you want to re-gift this to someone and like put something else in here. If not, you can just put it back, and I'm pretty sure with the other one on the bottom it's the same thing. And now for the bottom part. Oh my god, look how cute. I am in love. This collection surpassed everything that I expected. Alright, so let's jump right into it. The first one I have here is called Bah Humbug. Okay, so Bah Humbug is described as a light lavender gray polish with a creme finish. I honestly, that's probably the best description because I couldn't even like think of what to describe this color as. That was one of the first colors that like caught my attention just because I love grays and I feel like we don't have enough grays, especially grays with this variety of like undertone of grays. I think it's just like chef's kiss. Okay, if you're looking at the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is Burberry. Obviously, I had to compare it to Burberry just because it is also like a very cool toned kind of purpley kind of color, but obviously they are so different. Burberry is a lot more pinky and Bah Humbug is more of like a gray toned purpley kind of color. If you have Burberry, if you like those type of colors, I definitely suggest Bah Humbug. So the one on my thumb, I'm kind of surprised it's here just because I never expected it to compare to it. And I'm talking about Super Freak. The undertone is very similar. Obviously, Super Freak is like extremely glittery and shimmery. Just look at the color and I feel like they look so similar. So if you're trying to do like a mani kind of thing, these two would look gorgeous. The next one that kind of shocked me as well is Dirty Dancing. But Dirty Dancing, obviously it's a gray, but I feel like it does have a bit of a purpley undertone compared to the other grays that we have in Light Lacquer, and it really shows when you see it in the comparisons. Obviously they're not the same, they're definitely not the same finish, but there's just something there. The last one that I compared with is Care-a-Lot Bear. I also did not think I would compare it to this one, but there's just something about the cool toneness of it. Unfortunately, you cannot get Care-a-Lot Bear anymore, but if you have it, like if you like that type of pale pink purpley kind of color, you're gonna love Bah Humbug. Okay, on the next slide, first one that I compared it to is Diamonds Are Forever, which is a bit weird, but I feel like the paleness to it just really looks very similar. So obviously they are super different, but there's just like a little similarity that I had to put it here. Obviously I had to compare it to Hopper just because I knew that everybody would be wanting me to compare it to Hopper because it's like the other cool tone gray kind of thing, but you guys, it is so different. That is why it's on the other slide and not the first one. They are so different. You can tell how much more brown Hopper is, and Bah Humbug is just like more purpley. The next one that I compared it to is Jolene. Obviously you can't get it anymore, but if you do have it, it is very different, but in a sense it is similar because Jolene is very cool toned as well. They're kind of like in the same realm, not really, just because Jolene is way pink, but it's a little there, you know. And the last one that I compared to is Birthday Bra. I knew somebody would want me to compare it as well. It is very different. Like, they are not the same at all, so don't even worry about it. Birthday Bra is way more pink. It's more like of a ballerina pink, and Bah Humbug just like completely different. Okay, so this one does have a couple of bottle comparisons, so let's get right into it. So the first one I have here is Cancer. This one is Mozart. This is with Moon River. This is with Unfortunate Souls. Here it is with Dark Academia. This is Sherry. Here it is with Brujita. This is with Tiny is Mighty. Here it is with Sorry Not Sorry. This is with Jukebox Baby. This is Trust and Pixie Dust. This is with The One Where. This is with Nebula. And this one is with Lavender Latte. Okay, the next one I have here is called Silky PJs. Silky PJs is described as an imperial jade green polish with a velvet finish. Oh my god. If you guys saw my reaction, you saw that I immediately went to see this one too. I just couldn't believe how gorgeous this green is, and like, oh my god, when you see the comparisons, you guys are gonna die because it's so beautiful. I can't with this color. It is too gorgeous, and I'm just so happy we have it. Beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, brilliant. Anyways, if you're seeing the comparisons now, the first one that I compared it to is Hoping to Be Kissed. It is obviously also a previous winter collection polish. I just felt like it had that right like tone of green. They're different like finishes, but there's just something there. It's similar. It's not the same, but it has a similar vibe, I guess. But obviously they're completely different polishes. The one on my thumb is When September Ends, and I did not think I would be comparing it to this one since it is such a new polish, but the undertone is very much of like a true grass green polish, so it just gave me that like yellow leaning kind of green, so I felt like it was perfect here. And oh my god, it's so gorgeous. The next one I have here is For the Thrill, and obviously it is so much darker, and also you guys can see how much more blue toned For the Thrill is, even though to me I always thought it was like a straight up green grass dark green. But it's crazy how you can shift the vision of the like the undertones of the polish by looking at it with other polishes next to it. Crazy. The last one that I compared it to is Tranquila y Tropical. I felt like I had to put it here because it is very much like of a mid-tone kind of green, and it does also give me that more leaning towards a yellowy kind of saturated green, so I felt like it fit here really well, even though it is way more neon and stuff. But I mean, honestly, Silky PJs is like a step away from being as neon as this one if it wasn't with that finish, but I just thought it was so gorgeous. Okay, on the next comparison, I compared it to Something Wicked. I feel like Something Wicked is like a true grass green color because like it just looks so much more yellow toned. The finish is not completely the same, but they are in the same realm of like shimmery greens. But if you have, you know, Something Wicked and you want something more, it even looks more blue toned in this picture, I would suggest Silky PJs. The one on my thumb is the Gorgeous Emeralds. Obviously they're completely different finishes, so if you have emeralds, if you love the greens like I do, I definitely suggest Silky PJs. The next one that I compared it to is Central Perk. It is just like way more blue toned. Obviously the finish is different, but they would look really pretty together now that I think about it. And the last one that I have here is To the Nines. Obviously they don't look alike, but I did want to include it here just in case because I know that the finish is very similar, it being kind of like a shimmery kind of green, but you can tell how much lighter and more yellowy To the Nines is. So I hope this helps. Okay, this one doesn't have as many as the other ones, but I did want to show you guys a couple of them. This is with Letty, or I think it's called Bearded Woman. This is next to Old Money. This one is next to Hefa. This is next to Nevermore. This one might be a little weird, but I did want to include Virgo here. This is next to Matcha Tea. This is with Antihero. And the last one I have here is La Luna. Okay, the next one I have here is called The Night Before. So The Night Before is described as a dark midnight blue polish with a fine blue shimmer finish. Oh my god. This one was one of the polishes that it didn't hit me how beautiful it was until I actually swatched it. I was like, whoa, like this one really jumped up on my ranking list just because I didn't realize how beautiful it was, like I said, until I swatched it. This one caught me by surprise, but obviously I should have known it was gonna be gorgeous. And it is like a fine kind of formula, but you can obviously build it up. I always do, and I always make it super opaque, so you guys can add as many layers as you want. So if you're seeing the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is At Last. This one was very similar in the way that At Last, it's like a warm toned kind of blue. It has like I think the description was like it had a little bit of teal or something like that, so I love that little hint of teal. So if you have At Last, if you like those type of blues, you're gonna love The Night Before. The next one that I compared it to was one of the ones that I'm like, I have to do this one, and it is I'll Be Home. Okay, so I think the major difference is the finish, because The Night Before is a fine kind of formula, but even so I feel like The Night Before has like more of a darkness to it that I'll Be Home still has like that little vibrancy kind of velvety blue. The next one that I compared it to is Aquarius, and to my surprise they are pretty different. I thought since they're both dark shimmery blues like they would be more similar, but you can just tell how much brighter Aquarius is. Like they're both like different shades of ocean water. And the last one that I compared it to is Woman. Obviously Woman is a lot lighter and it's not a shimmer. Now that I think about it, I'm like, these two on top of each other would look so pretty. Okay, on the next comparison, I compared it to Gumption, which I never thought I would compare it to Gumption. Gumption is a lot more purple tone, but to my surprise, I just didn't believe that they were that similar. Also, those two on top of each other would be very cute. The one on my thumb is Berry. Obviously they're different finishes, but I just thought maybe this would be helpful to someone out there. The next one that I compared it to is Sunday and Santorini. Yeah, very different. Still a deep blue, but they're just like different tones of deep blues. And the last one was the one that I was like, what am I doing? But I'm glad I did it because I feel like they do have a similarity, and some of you guys messaged me and commented of how like similar they are. Obviously Virgo is a lot more creme and it's not translucent like the night before, but it is similar in the sense that it's almost like a blue version of Virgo in a weird way. So I did not expect this one to have as many bottle comparisons as it does, but I did want to show you guys a bunch of polishes that almost made it and some that like are, you know, they're worthy of bottle comparing. The first one I have here is I Got Off the Plane. This is Forget Me Nots. This is Booze Cruise, which I almost did it. This is Amethyst, which also I was like, oh my god, what do I do? This is next to Get Groovy. This is next to Zoinks. This is Down in Kokomo, just for anyone wondering. I know it's a little weird, but you never know. This is next to Porter, which obviously almost made it to the comparisons. This is Baloo. Here it is next to Alexandrite. And lastly, just in case, this is next to Big Fish. Okay, the next one I have here is called Frost and Starlight. Frost and Starlight is described as an icy blue polish with a fine diamond shimmer curly finish. Okay, I don't even have to say this, but this finish is exactly like Diamonds Are Forever, Barely Frio, I Smell Snow, and there's like a couple of more that I can't really think about, but it's the same finish. Beautiful diamondy kind of finish. Love it, gorgeous, and this shade of blue is so precious and beautiful. I had a lot of fun comparing this polish just because we do have quite a couple of light blues in Light Lacquer. So the first one that I compared it to is Mediterranean Summer. They are very similar except for the fact that A, Mediterranean Summer is a lot more blue toned, and B, the finish obviously is different. Like Frost and Starlight is like that Diamonds Are Forever finish, and Mediterranean Summer is just like a shimmery flecks of green and yellow. They're different shades of light blue, so if you have like a preference, I hope this comparison helped you out. The next one that I compared it to is Ever After, and obviously you guys can see that Ever After has like a ton of like pink purpley shimmer, so the finish is completely different, and because of those shimmers it kind of shifts the blue and makes it look more pinky purpley, so that's like the biggest difference that I could see. The next one that I compared it to is Bedtime Bear. They are kind of similar in the tone, but you can obviously tell how much lighter Frost and Starlight is. The next polish that I compared it to is Our Mermaid's Not Sweet, which I am so mad. I did not know that color got discontinued. I should have bought replacements because after swatching this one, I'm like, oh my god, I totally love Our Mermaid's Not Sweet, like my favorite one from that quad collection. But just like Mediterranean Summer, this one is a lot more cool toned, and obviously Our Mermaid's Not Sweet is full of shimmers. It's basically just like a shimmer hollow kind of polish. So the next one to compare it to is Misfit Toys. This one was kind of like in the back of my head that I have to compare it. For some reason, the other ones just seemed a lot more similar. You guys can totally tell how much lighter it is. I just feel like adding these two on top of each other would look so pretty. The next one that I compared it to is Easy as Pie. You can kind of tell how much more blue toned Easy as Pie is, and it makes Frost and Starlight look a little bit like warm toned, even though it's really not. The next one that I compared it to is Butterfly Milk, which obviously it looks so much more purple next to Frost and Starlight. Butterfly Milk is like a jelly consistency, so if you guys would layer these on top of each other, it would look very cute as well. And the last one that I compared it to is Big Fish. Obviously it's super different. It is a lot more like vibrant than Frost and Starlight, but I just figured if you guys have it, you might want to see it compared to each other, so hopefully it helps. So for this one is not too many because I did compare it to a lot of the lights blues, but this is next to Forget Me Nots. This is next to Blue Moon. This is next to Cold Turkey. Here it is with Sen Noodles. This is with St. Clair that I'm sure so many of you guys wanted me to compare to it. I'm sorry, but I hope the bottle comparison helps. This is next to Zoinks. This is next to Chill Pill. This is next to Clara, or I think it's called Frostbite now. This is next to Message in a Bottle. I know it might be weird, but just in case. This one too almost made it. This is We Were on a Break. So the next one I have here is called Red Ribbons. Red Ribbons is described as a cranberry red polish with a creme finish. Surprisingly, this is a very cute red. I am not a red girl, but I can appreciate a cute one when I see it. I feel like these are all like very light textures. Like I know that they say that they're creme, but I feel like they're not a one kind of polish go. Like to me, the way that I like it is just to layer it up, but honestly, that's just preference at this point. So if you're seeing the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is Lady in Red, which I was so shocked of how similar they were. I couldn't believe it. But Lady in Red honestly is like an actual kind of jelly finish, even though it doesn't look like a jelly here, just because I do layer it up a lot. The next one that I compared it to is Cubana, which also kind of freaked me out of how similar it looked. But Cubana to me is like a one quote kind of creme polish. Like the three of them look very similar, but you could tell the little bit of a difference that it has. So that's up to you guys if you want to, you know, buy the other reds. The next one that I compared it to is True Blood, which I didn't really expect to compare to True Blood, but I feel like it's very like cranberry-ish. I think that's like the main thing. It's not like a vibrant kind of red, so it is a little bit more toned down. And also the next one, Follies and Nonsense, I did not even think I was gonna put it in a comparison. Obviously it's different, the finish is different, but it does have like a little bit of a similarity in the tone of red that hopefully like it helps you guys. Obviously you cannot get Follies and Nonsense anymore, so if you like that tone of red, I highly suggest Red Ribbons. Okay, in the next comparison, the first one that I compared it to is Joan. Obviously the finish is different, and unfortunately you cannot get Joan anymore, but Joan is a little bit darker. But I feel like if you do have Joan and like you do buy Red Ribbons, if you layer like a little thin layer of Joan on top of it, it would look so magical. The next one that I compared it to is As If. You can tell that the biggest difference is that As If is a lot lighter, and to me it kind of looks like more of a warm toned kind of red. The next one that I compared it to is 1952, which used to be called Lucy. It is a lot more vibrant, but I think Lightsacker posted a picture of somebody doing like the nail polish with like a French of another color, and this one was the one that was like on the French tip, and it just looked amazing. So I'm like, let me put it here for the girlies in case they do want to see it in the comparison. And lastly, the one that I put is Aries, just because I feel like it has like that kind of cool toned kind of thing going on. Hopefully somebody out there appreciated this comparison. So we do have a couple of reds in Lightsacker, so I did want to show you guys the bottle comparisons for the different polishes. This is next to Ace. This is next to By the Fireplace. This is next to Libra. This is next to Razzle Red. This one almost made it to the comparison. This is Bite Me, and they just look so similar. This is Toot Sweets. This is next to Raspberry Sorbet. This is next to Lady Marmalade. Here it is next to Midnight Train. And lastly, this is Cherry Jelly. So the next one that I have here is Baby It's Cold Outside, and if you guys didn't notice, these two were the inspiration for my eyeshadow look today. And it's so funny because now that I look at it, it's giving karma is the guy on the cheese. Come straight home to me. Anyways, the next one that I have here is called Baby It's Gold Outside. Baby It's Gold Outside is an antique gold polish with a metallic finish. I am surprised how much I like this polish because I'm also not a very yellow person. So for me to like actually like it, I'm like, this is pretty. In my head, I just compare it to the other golds in Lightsacker, and I'm like, I think this might be my favorite gold in Lightsacker. If you guys are seeing the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is Citrine, which, to be fair, I kind of forgot about Citrine a little bit. I was so shocked to see how similar they were. Citrine is a lot more saturated. If you do have Citrine, or if you can get your hands on Citrine, Citrine has like tiny bits of like larger flecks of gold in it. So that's basically like the biggest difference between both of them. The next one that I compared it to is I'm All Toasty Inside, which I think is discontinued as well. Like, what the hell? I'm All Toasty Inside to me is a lot more of a silver gold, and it's more of like a hollow as well. So if you guys love golds, I definitely suggest Baby It's Cold Outside. The next one that I compared it to is Girl Power. Obviously, right off the bat, it's way more orange, but it is like a very goldy, shimmery, like glittery kind of color, so I felt like I had to put it here. But yeah, it's a lot more orange, like a sunsetty orange yellow kind of thing. And the last one that I put is Banana Split. Obviously, it's like a creme and everything, but I felt like the tone is a little bit similar, even though it's a lot more brighter and lighter. I just felt like you guys appreciate it if I put it here. The next one that I compared it to is Earth Angel, which obviously everybody and their mother was probably thinking about Earth Angel, but you guys, look how different it looks. It makes Earth Angel look like a freaking silver, which is crazy. We all knew that Earth Angel wasn't like a super bright saturated gold, but I didn't anticipate it looking this silver next to Baby It's Cold Outside. And the same goes with That's Expensive. That's Expensive is like a hair more gold. The next one that I compared it to is Frog Prince, which I love Frog Prince. It's so cute. Obviously it's discontinued, but Frog Prince is like an olivey green yellow kind of polish, so I felt like it was in the same realm enough to put it in the comparison. And like, to my surprise, they are very similar. They're more similar to me than Earth Angel and Baby It's Cold Outside, which is crazy. And the last one that I compared it to is Leonardo. Leonardo is like a jelly kind of finish, and it's kind of similar in the Banana Split description that it's very light and everything, but I just felt like since it is like a yellowy kind of polish, it would be nice to put it here. So I'm kind of surprised, but I do have a couple of bottle comparisons for Baby It's Cold Outside. The first one I have here is Funshine Bear. This one is compared to Whiskey Neat. This is next to Limoncello. This is next to Friend Bear. This is next to A Temporary Madness. Here it is next to Slice of Life. This is next to Fiona. This is Relaxy Taxi. And this might be a little weird, but I wanted to include it here. And this is next to 11. Alright, it is time for the most dreadful part of the video. I'm gonna tell you guys my ranking, and just like every collection, it's always hard just because I fall in love with the collection as a whole, so I really love all of them. But I always go with the bottom color is the one that I will gravitate towards the least, and like I'll probably never genuinely go and pick up myself unless I have to like do it for like a event or a theme or something like that. So with that being said, my last place is gonna have to go to Red Ribbons, not because it's not a pretty red, but like what I just said. And there's a lot of reds too, so I'm not very like oh my god about reds, even though it is very pretty. I love like how it's a little bit darker than other reds in Light Lacquer, but yeah, that's why it's my last place. My fifth place, which it kind of upsets me because I did really like this polish, but I'm gonna have to go with Baby It's Cold Outside as my fifth place. I'm telling you right now, it's probably one of my favorite yellows of all Light Lacquer, probably like my top yellow polish, but as a collection as a whole, it's gonna have to be fifth place. My fourth place, I'm kind of scared to tell you guys because I feel like it might be like a favorite. Frost and Starlight is gonna have to be my fourth place, only because I don't tend to lean towards light polishes. I always like dark to mid-tone kind of polishes. That's why it's so low, but honestly, I love this finish. You guys need to make more polishes with this finish because it's so beautiful. I love like the little flecks of diamond that it looks like, and it makes me sad to put it this low. And my third place, which came to a shock to me, but it's gonna go to The Night Before, just because I can see myself doing 1 or 2 coats if I want it really light, or just like layering it on with 3 or 4 coats if I do want to do it really dark. It is such a pretty dark blue, and it's kind of unique to Light Lacquer, even though we do have dark blues, but there's just something different about this one. I can't really put my finger on it, but if you do love dark blues or just dark polishes in general, I definitely suggest The Night Before. Okay, so for my first two, just keep in mind that they are very interchangeable depending on my mood, depending on where I'm going. But unfortunately, my second place, oh my god, it's a tie. Let's just say it's a tie, okay? My second place, it's gonna have to go to Bah Humbug. It makes me really sad to put it in second place, but because I love gray polishes, especially something with a little bit of a pinky purpley shift, I love it, and I want to encourage Light Lacquer to bring more gray tones. This is one of the most beautiful polishes they've come out with, and I know it's just like a gray polish, but if you're like me and you like grays, like oh my god. And obviously it came to no surprise that my first place is gonna go to Silky PJs. I just can't look at that. Look, I can't get over how rich this polish is. That's where it really got me, because we do have like this kind of shade of green, but like not really, not in this velvety kind of finish. I felt like it was a very good addition to the greens in Light Lacquer. So, and obviously I'm biased because I do love my greens, but I just think it's so pretty. And like honestly, my 1 and 2, like these two in a little like nail art thing, like oh my god, it would look so pretty. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your ranking is and if you've picked up anything from this collection. I do want to finish off by saying how grateful I am to every single one of you that used my code on launch day. It blew my mind, the amount of love that you guys show me time and time again, and it means so much to me. And I really wanted to tell you guys that, like, it completely blew my mind seeing you guys like use my code, and I'm very grateful. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to check out my social medias. I have like videos on my reaction of the first time I opened this, because I can't post on YouTube because it's too long for whatever reason. So go check out my social medias there. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one.